What is going on, guys? Johnny on the track back with another video. We are here for Nashville week. It's a night race. It's a good track, and we had an awesome Coke 600 race that is betting wise. Big bet was William Byron. That's the one we gave out on the show, and he got passed with like 7 laps left by Ross Chastain. Tough beat, but an awesome race from start to finish. So much good in that Coke 600. And I honestly feel like Nashville is going to have some of that as well. Charlotte obviously has been a great track in the next gen era. One that I hope that, we build on and add another oval date to Charlotte because it needs it. But I say all that to say, I think Nashville is going to deliver as well. A little bit of a smaller size oval, also concrete, which I think might play into some drivers' skill sets better than others, perhaps a little bit more tire wear. We've got a night race here, which I think, could add a little bit of extra elements to this race. But overall, another high-speed intermediate, smaller, but still, I think a lot of what we saw at Charlotte, a lot of what we saw at Kansas is going to carry over to this Nashville race. So, with that, I'm going to take you through a lot of drivers this week. Many that I like for money lines. I actually think you could probably play some money line on all of these drivers, but I do have some top fives and top tens scattered in there as well. So I'm going to start with a 22 to 1 long shot, and that is Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski had a great car, not a good car, a great car at Charlotte. He had a great car at Kansas. Again, not a good car, a great car. Back-to-back intermediate tracks. Brad Keselowski has been fast. Now, something that I really like about Keselowski this week, which he has not had pretty much all season long, is a good qualifying position. He's going to qualify most likely in like the bottom seven. Some of it has to do with points, average finish, or yeah, average finish, but also finish from the last race is really the biggest thing. He had a great finish last race, his first top five. So finally, he's going to have a chance to qualify late. And I think that's going to help him qualify inside the top 10. And, he's not going to have to overcome as much as he has throughout the first 13, let's say, races of the season. But overall, Keselowski, super high in confidence after that Charlotte race. He said it himself. I can't wait for Nashville. On to Nashville. I think we can go win Nashville. He thought that he had the car to win Charlotte. Again, we heard on Actions Detrimental, Denny Hamlin talk about how similar, these cars are. Ross Chastain, the car that he won with was actually a setup for Nashville that they tweaked a little bit, used for Kansas. That was the backup car. So again, he's another guy that you can be watching. But Brad Keselowski, super high in confidence, two back-to-back great intermediate style cars. That's going to carry over to Nashville. I think Brad qualifies well. 22 to 1. I like the confidence for the former champ, Brad Keselowski. Number two, Denny Hamlin, plus 500. Every single metric that you look at in terms of Nashville, Denny Hamlin's the top dog. He just is, whether it be average finish, whether it be laps led, driver rating, all of it belongs to Denny Hamlin. He had a great car last weekend at Charlotte. He had a great car at Kansas as well. I think there's some added motivation for how those two races have ended for Hamlin, especially last week at Charlotte when you thought he might be able to challenge Byron and Chastain for the win late. Obviously, had that fuel situation where they couldn't get the second tank of fuel in there. But Denny Hamlin, two back-to-back great intermediate cars now coming to a track that he has just dominated at. Denny Hamlin 5 to 1. Love that there. I actually think that's pretty darn good value even right now. I think that might shift towards the 4 to 1 number as we get through qualifying, as we get through practice, and those numbers tend to shift as they always do. So Denny Hamlin 5 to 1. So two former champs, the theme right now. Let's go to a third former champ. Kyle Larson plus 475. Wait on him. Wait on Larson. I think we're going to get a good number. He's going to be qualifying early. Most likely will start somewhere in the middle to the back of the field. Here's the interesting catch about Larson that I found just absolutely puzzling. He has not led a single lap here in the next gen era. I mean, that's really, I feel like the only track you can say that with Larson in the next gen era is like some of those super speedways. So I would keep that in mind. But he's got good finishes. He's got good running position. He's got a solid driver rating at this track overall. His obviously his teammate has won here in Chase Elliott in the next gen era. So Kyle Larson, I would wait. I would hang tight. I think that number is going to shift more to the 5.5, maybe even 6-1. I think post practice and post qualifying, you take Kyle Larson, whatever the number is, because I do think it's going to favor us, the better that is, a little bit more. So, three former champions. Again, Larson, he led the first, I don't know, 50 laps of that Charlotte race, looked pretty stout, and then got loose. And then after that, just couldn't recover, then got caught up in that wreck with Suarez and Blaney. So, Larson's got a little bit to prove, especially with how that true double attempt went. I think he needs something good, honestly, to kind of fall his way. So, I think he'll again qualify kind of mid to back of pack, and then we'll get a good number and we'll watch him, march through the field as he often does. Ty Gibbs is another long shot underdog that I am looking at this race here, 33-1. Gibbs has been very, very good at concrete tracks in his career. Bristol being one, Dover, another concrete track. Ty Gibbs seems to thrive on concrete tracks. I know he's been up and down this year and was slow at Charlotte, but I would not count him out. Gibbs or Joe Gibbs Racing as a whole was stout at this race last year. If you actually looked at the running order and running position prior to the kind of overtime havoc that we had, the majority was Toyotas and Gibbs cars. That they made up the majority of the top 10. Then, of course, all hell breaks loose. We go overtime after overtime after overtime. Joey Logano ends up winning that thing. But the Gibbs cars, including Ty Gibbs, were all up there. And I do believe, if I have my numbers here correctly, that Ty Gibbs has actually led some laps here. Yeah, he's led a few laps here as well. Has an 88.3 driver rating, which is within the top eight here at Nashville in the next gen era of active drivers. So overall, Ty Gibbs, I think you got to give him a look with his history on the concrete style tracks, as well as how good Toyota and Gibbs were last year on this style track. And also Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, all were really, really good at both Kansas and Charlotte. So Ty Gibbs, 33-1. I'd take a flyer. Ross Chastain, I like, but he's 10-1. I don't like that number. But he's a winner here. I'm leaning more towards the top five. I would say top five, maybe top Chevy. I think that's where you can lean into Ross Chastain. He ranks second here in the next gen speed rankings according to iFantasy Race. He's got a 110 driver rating, which is second among active drivers, and he's led 144 laps here. Obviously, like I said, he's got that win as well. Just the numbers spectacular for Ross Chastain. Two top fives here as well, and an average start inside the top 10, which is third actually among active drivers, only behind Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson. So just shows you how good he has been here at this track. So I would lean towards the top five. He's obviously going to be the last qualifier as the winner. So he should be able to qualify in the top 10 would be my guess. Similar car they're going to bring. It'll be fast. And on the long run, I would look for a guy like Ross Chastain to make a run at it. But I'm leaning more towards the top five because I don't love the number at 10-1. Again, what a win can do for you on the season to really change the odds that come out each week for a driver like Ross Chastain. I mean, he was getting numbers like 25-1 prior to last or this week rather. So 10-1, I think Ross Chastain is really gonna hover around that number now just because he has that win at such a historic event like the Coke 600. All right, two additional flyers. I like these guys at top 10, but I would not be upset if you threw a little something down on a huge dark horse money line. I'm going to start with AJ Allmendinger. Actually, let's start with Ryan Preece because he's got the lower odds, 40-1. I'm going to sound biased here because you guys know I'm a Preece fan, but the guy's won two guitars here in the Truck Series. He finished fourth here last year, albeit on overtimes, but it just adds confidence to a track that he's already very, very well comfortable at. If we look at high speed intermediates, Priest has finished top 10 in three out of the four. He got screwed running top five at Texas. Also finished third at Homestead, not considered a conventional mile and a half high speed, but again, it is a high speed track. It's a mile and a half, just not one of those conventional ovals, so they don't count it. But he finished third there. So another guy also that had a good finish, top 10 last week. So he's going to be qualifying in the final 10. He didn't qualify well last week. Passed, I think, the most cars. The number had it down as. I saw that stat. He had the first or second most green flag passes. So I would hope that he qualifies somewhere in the top 10 because I think, he'll have to do less work. His pit crew was not good last week. So again, that's something that is a little just something to keep your eye on if you are taking this bet. But 40-1 for a guy that's had really solid speed on mile and a halfs, high speed tracks this year. I like it a lot. I think a top 10 is absolutely something you should be targeting. It's probably going to be around 2 to 2.5 to 1 if his money line is 40-1. But he just continues to knock off top 10s at mile and a half tracks. So until the books get the best of us, we're gonna continue to make that bet. And then AJ Allmendinger, all really for all the same reasons that I just noted for Priest above. He's also a winner here in a lower series. He's plus 7,500, which I think is worth a shot from what we've seen from AJ Allmendinger at these sort of mile and a half, high speed tracks. He has really exceeded so many of our expectations, quite frankly, this season to be in a colleague racing car, to run top five at Charlotte, to run top five, top 10 most of the day at Las Vegas, and have a solid car at Kansas as well, if not for an engine being blown. I mean, the guy just has speed, and early in his career, he wasn't a guy that was going to run top 10 at mile and a half. So you'd see him at short tracks and you'd see him at road courses, his specialty. But over the years, he's got better and better and better. He's worked at it in the Xfinity series and it's really paying dividends. AJ Allmendinger is worth a flyer. He's also always another guy has been exceptional in his career at concrete tracks. A lot of his wins have came at concrete tracks. Again, he's won at Bristol. He won at Nashville in the Xfinity Series. So he's had plenty of success on those style tracks. I like him a lot. I like Priest a lot. Both those guys, you're going to lock in for top tens. The other guy that scares me a little bit, and I'm waiting to see the numbers, William Byron. I think again, he'll have a similar car, similar setup. He'll be fast. I think there's that extra added motivation to get past, lead so many laps in that Charlotte race for it to all fall apart in the final. What would that be? Basically 15 miles of that race. Just heartbreaking loss. So I think there's going to be some added motivation there, but he's going to have to fend off Denny Hamlin and Brad Keselowski and Kyle Larson and Ross Chastain and Ty Gibbs and maybe to a lesser extent Ryan Preece and AJ Allmendinger. Those are the drivers to watch for. Those are the bets overall. Chastain top five, Preece Allmendinger top 10, Kes, Hamlin, Gibbs, Larson. Those are the money line bets I like right now to I guess to take, with exception to Kyle Larson. Let's wait on him, but I wanted to point him out because I think we're gonna get a good bet overall on Larson. But always want to know what you guys think. Put your bets, your drivers to watch for in the comments section below. Give this video a like, goes a long way for the channel. Subscribe if you love motorsports, if you love betting. We appreciate it. And as always, the final card will be on Action Network. That's Johnny on the Track on Action Network. And of course, on my Twitter X account at JOTT_podcast on X. Thanks for watching, and let's go win some money.